Sup everyone, this is Draco Evolve back yet again with some latest Manchester United transfer news and speculation, and what a last 24 hours we've had. Really, we've got fresh news on Jadon Sancho, Edinson Cavani, Ousmane Dembele, Luka, Jovic, bit around Alex Telles, some outgoing news as well. Let's dive straight in. But before I dive straight in, just wanna give a shout out to Faris Robertson. I hope I got your name right. In regards to my last video, as I said, get commenting, guys. I don't do live streams, so I do pick up comments from my previous transfer video and have a bit of a discussion before I start. So my previous transfer video was around Jadon Sancho and Alex Telles transfer latest, which was a few days ago. He said, for me, I think Alex Telles will join, and I think it's likely that Sancho doesn't join. I think both will join. I think it's just a matter of, in regards to Sancho, we'll come back to that. But Alex Telles, the latest news around there is United are haggling for a few £1 because they feel that we can sign him on a pre-contract for free in January. We can talk to him because he has a year left on his contract, which is a stupid decision by the board. They're not footballing people, they're just making decisions based on business, and that's what's happening with Alex Telles. Alex Telles ticks a lot of the boxes we need as a left back. His numbers are great. You're getting a left back who's pretty much in his peak, and he's much better than what we have, tenfold better than what we have on that side, and you're getting it for tenth of the price. If he had a long-term contract, he will cost you 50-60 million pound easily. But to get him for around what, 20 million pound, the board are just a joke, right? But anyway, thank you Faris Robathon for the comment and the visit, really appreciate it. Let's jump straight in. So we're gonna jump straight in to Ousmane Dembele. So Dembele, this is according to various reports coming out, various good sources coming out, which we'll go through. We'll read an article of this particularly first, then we'll go through some of the sources. But Ousmane Dembele to Manchester United. Looks like there are some legs to this. So Manchester United are in talks with Barcelona over a loan deal for Ousmane Dembele. United are keen to sign a winger during this transfer window, and while the first choice is Jadon Sancho, Dembele represents a strong alternative. The 23-year-old club record signing for Barcelona when he arrived from Dortmund for about £95 million in August 2017. On Tuesday, Manchester United had a bid for Jadon Sancho worth €100 rejected by Dortmund. We'll get to those bits. So we'll get to these bits. Dortmund set a deadline for August 10th. We know about all this stuff, and that's it. Apparently, Jadon Sancho is a stopgap for. Dembele is a stopgap for Jadon Sancho. I'm going to look at the Fabrizio Romano as well. Fabrizio Romano's Instagram has confirmed this, that United have identified Ousmane Dembele as one of their transfer options this summer. United are considering a loan move, but no formal bid has been launched as of yet. That's as of yesterday. Barcelona are waiting for a fee around £60 million. Euros, fuck off. Romano adds that Dembele doesn't want to leave Barca and have turned down moves to Juventus and Liverpool before. When United contacted his agent a month ago, the 23-year-old forward refused. Let's go and have a look at something that Fabrizio Romano retweeted, is in regards to, it's just about 57 minutes ago really, so this is like the latest of the latest. Ronald Koeman, who's the Barcelona head coach, has come out and said in regards to Dembele, I'm going to count on him. He was very good during the first weeks. He had a downturn last week. He trained well today, and I'm counting on him. But these are the decisions of the club and the player. So in regards to Ousmane Dembele, I don't know. If he is a stopgap to Jadon Sancho, I will say no. Because if you're saying that, okay, let's get Ousmane Dembele for loan this season and then go back in for Jadon Sancho next season, Jadon Sancho's potential suitors will be a lot more than Manchester United next season. A lot more clubs will be on for him, and it's going to become tenfold harder to sign Jadon Sancho, right? Now, if we're signing Dembele on top of Jadon Sancho, wow, that's like, talk about sorting out a right-wing position in one soup, right? Because Jadon Sancho and Dembele, Dembele's injury, he's injury prone. I'm not gonna even bother looking at his stats, but we all know he barely played for Barcelona over the last few years. He's got almost as bad injury as Phil Jones. I'm not sure about him. I mean, I think United are putting stories out there that Jadon Sancho is a no-go. Look, guys, we tried, but here's an alternative. Like, no, you haven't tried. Like, with Jadon Sancho, you're just £20 million off. I mean, it doesn't work like that. Unless you're signing Dembele on top of Jadon Sancho. That's fair play. That's called quality in depth. You know, Dembele is a type of player that can come in who's got huge quality. He's had a better season before he left for Barcelona at Dortmund than Jadon Sancho has. Unfortunately, with his injuries, it's a bit of a problem. But Dembele, if it's just solely Dembele, then yeah, it's not good enough. I don't think Dembele can play on the right side throughout the whole season. The season is going to be demanding. There's a lot of games to play. And Jadon Sancho will be a better option, right? But let me know your thoughts in the comments below in regards to Ousmane Dembele to Man United. Talking about Jadon Sancho, so this is a piece of report that's came out from Sky that apparently Man United had a bid for Jadon Sancho worth up to £91.3 million rejected. The offer was an initial £73 million, rising up to £91 million, which fell short of Dortmund's £108 million valuation. And Sancho has not flown with the rest of the Dortmund squad for the German Super Cup, which is happening tonight due to respiratory infection. He has tested negative for COVID-19. In regards to Simon Stone, he says in regards to no minor bid for Maitland-Niles, let's forget, or Dembele. Any interest around Dembele will be regarding a loan, which we discussed. But in regarding to last 4 hours, Simon Stone, who knows a lot of things around Manchester United, he's got links within the club, so you know he talks a bit of sense. BVB had turned down the latest Man United offer for Jadon Sancho within the last week, adamant he's going nowhere. Big decision for United now. Have another go, look elsewhere, knowing JS will move on at the end of the season, get short term on nothing. So he does confirm, right, that contrary to what Sky Sports are reporting, that we've had a new bid rejected, right? There was no new bid. He says that within the last week, so there was a bid or a sort of like a little push within the last week by Manchester United, which have been turned down by Dortmund in regards to Jadon Sancho. I can also confirm that Jadon Sancho and Roman Burki will not fly to Munich as a result of a respiratory infection. This is the official account of Dortmund confirming that news last night. But in regards to what Simon Stone has been saying, look, United have went in for a bid over the last week or so. We all know that it's pretty much protracted, but it has been rejected because United know the price of Jadon Sancho. They knew that for months and months and months. Yes, they are still haggling. It just shows that the board have no interest in what's happening on the field. Very little interest or knowledge of what's happening on the field. They know the price of a player, a generational talent, a person that can fix our right wing, who we've needed for the God knows how many years, for the next 10 seasons at the minimum. That investment of what, £108 million will over 10 years. You're gonna get more back and then some, right? It just doesn't make sense. There was a coach in Sevilla coming out and saying that you know, he's surprised that United don't have a director of football, and I think that's a huge problem. We know the price of Jadon Sancho. United are preparing a bid or preparing FC, you know, whatever you want to call it, and it's just not happening. Now, if it was up to me, I'll go and pay the money and get him in. We're already 3-4 weeks late off this transfer anyway. Obviously, Jadon Sancho hasn't travelled with Dortmund squad, which could mean many things. God knows, there are things happening in the background, but no official agreement has been reached. United know what they have to pay. Dortmund know what they told United. United are just haggling for what, 10, 20 million, 50 million pounds for a generational talent. It's absurd, or whatever you want to call it. And that's where the things lie with Jadon Sancho. Romano has come out, you know, this is Romano's Instagram. He said Man United are considering to make a new bid of 90 million euros, but it will be refused. That's why there's no official bid for Sancho right now. BVB are still convinced to keep Jadon this season. So you can see that United know that if they make a bid for that amount, it's going to get downright rejected, right? And United know that. That's why there's no official bid has gone in. They're probably weighing up options and offers before, you know, coming up with a package and going in knowing that Dortmund will accept. I reckon at the end of the day, I reckon United will pay what Dortmund want. It's as simple as that. But it's just that other clubs looking into United are just laughing at us. You know, we're talking about United having an excuse of COVID, this and that. There are other teams in the Premier League, forget Europe, that have spent more than United, that have improved their squad, that have done deals nice and early, a majority of the deals nice and early. And here is United, who knew about Dortmund's valuation of Jadon Sancho. It's done nothing for God knows how many months. Same with Alex Telles last few weeks. Regulian is another one where it's just considering or haggling or whatever they want to do. It's just becoming such a hassle. The thing with Donny van de Beek, I think because Van der Sar was involved in that deal, the love for United, they just made the deal happen quite quick. But man, I don't know. If Dembele is coming in as a stopgap for Jadon Sancho, forget it. Forget it for me. It's as simple as that. Forget it. Moving on to a new fresh bit of news that's come out over the last 24 hours is Edinson Cavani to Man United. So I'm going to read you out this article. Man United are in talks of the signing of Cavani on a free transfer and ready to offer the striker a 2-year deal worth 200k a week, according to reports. I'm just going to leave it at that. Edinson Cavani, let's have a look at his stats. So this is his last season. Obviously, he's a free agent this season. He can talk to anyone. 14 times or 22 games in total, 7 goals, 3 assists. He's been second fiddle, and that's the main reason behind him leaving PSG while his contract has run out. He's had a couple of injuries, obviously, in the back end of his career at PSG. However, I'm not sure about it. It's a loan deal. If you're looking at from a strength in depth perspective, fine. That is, it sounds good. That is all right? But Edinson Cavani strikes me as a striker coming in and demanding first team football, and that can cause a few problems at United, right? Because Martial is clearly our first man striker, you can say, number one striker. Edinson Cavani will come and provide competition and experience, something that Zlatan has provided. You know, he's got different ability to the strikers that we have. Now, you might say, oh, we've got Igalo, but I think the thing with Igalo, he started against Luton the other week and he was terrible, right? Now, you can see even the back end of last season, some of the sub appearances, he came on right at the late. Like, I think one game he came on the 88th minute when we needed a goal, which shows that maybe the faith that Oli has in Igalo is not great. He's just a stopgap to kind of have some sort of cover in case Martial gets an injury, which what happened last January. He does have 2 months left on his loan, and I don't think he'll be it will be extended, barring a miracle. So United are looking at various options. Obviously, Edinson Cavani is available on free, so there's no club to negotiate or anything. It's just a free run at him. For me, if we can convince Edinson Cavani to come in as a year deal or 18 months or whatever you want to call it, as a bit part striker, like a rotational striker, he'll definitely, I'll accept it. He's got experience. He's got tons of experience. He's got different ability that, you know, you can play a different tactical system with him. We all know Oli has one tactic. But having a striker of his quality, there will be genuinely crosses coming in that will enable Cavani to score. I mean, you know, he's very good in the air as well. Set piece as well in terms of penalties. He's good. Only if he's coming in as a bit part striker, right? You know, you look back and look at Zlatan. He's done a fantastic job, and he was old, but still he had a huge impact. The experience that he'll add is going to be immense for our front three. You know, our front three are young. Despite their talent, they are young. Mason Greenwood, 18. I think Martial's, 23 or 22? And Rashford is, 21 or 22? Still young. Having someone very, on an elite level, you can say, played at the top of the games for years and years. And having someone with that much experience will certainly help the team. It had the same effect when Zlatan was there for the likes of Martial and Rashford. But that's the latest on Edinson Cavani. These things are coming up. God knows. In terms of talking about strikers, Luka Jovic as well is another one that Luka Jovic has reportedly told Manchester United he wants to join them, and Real Madrid will decide his future on Thursday. So they spent about £55 million on him, according to Daily Star and various other outlets that's coming out. Jovic's agent has informed Real Madrid that his client wants to join Manchester United on loan for a season. Looking at his stats, he's appeared 27 times, scoring 2 goals, 2 assists. I'm not sure about him. He's a young talent. We all know that. You know, for those that play Football Manager will know him very well. And I was personally gutted that he went to Real Madrid in the first place all those years back. But on a season loan deal, I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, for someone like that, I'd rather take him on a season loan deal with an option to buy. Not take him on a season loan deal, develop him, and he has a fantastic season for us, and then he goes back to Madrid. I do think he's a different type of striker. Again, he plays his back to the goal. I haven't seen many games of him, but he's having a tough time at Real Madrid. He has broken a bit. I believe he has some attitude problems. He has broken a few rules during COVID lockdown. That can be solved easily. If it's a loan deal, it's fine. You can terminate the loan deal immediately if they decide to play up. It's as simple as that. And Jovic will know that he's got something to prove. He needs to come in. He hasn't had the best of times at Real Madrid. If we give him the platform and he does something really great, you never know. He might end up saying that, you know, I want to stay at United and, you know, make a bid for me. Or it might be the case of okay, I'm gonna perform and score X amount of goals, and I want to go back to Real Madrid and take that number 1 position up front. On a loan deal, option to buy Luka Jovic, for me, yes, go for it. On a loan deal, I don't think so, because he's still young. He's 22. He's still young. You know, we don't want to be a stop. You know, you look at Ousmane Dembele. That makes sense for a loan deal, right? Because he's injury prone. He can get injured anytime, and we know his threshold. I don't mind him a loan deal on top of Jadon Sancho. That is not just Dembele, but Luka Jovic is a striking position that we can fill up. That's definitely for sure. Between Edinson Cavani and Jovic, I'll go for Jovic because of his threshold, right? But only if it's loan to buy, not just loan. If it's just loan, then I'll stick with Edinson Cavani, because Edinson Cavani has pretty much got nothing to prove. He's gonna just come in, do his thing and go. Whereas Jovic has a lot to prove. He can actually potentially be a very good striker for us, and then it'll be heartbreaking to see him leave because, you know, Real Madrid will pull him back. Whereas if it's loan to buy, it'll be a case of, okay, we got a chance of signing this player now because that's the agreement we had, and him spending a year in Manchester, he might like the club. But that's all there's a lot of things has happened over the last 24 hours. You had Ousmane Dembele news breaking left, right, centre. Luka Jovic, Edinson Cavani, obviously bits around Jadon Sancho and Alex Telles, the usual suspects. In terms of outgoing, so Andres Pereira has joined Lazio, thank fuck. And looks like Chris Smalling and Dalot is going to be following suit very, very, very soon. All the deadwood's going out. Unfortunately, Phil Jones is still at the club, and Jesse Lingard. But I think it's only a matter of time before they are kicked out of the club as well. But that's all the latest Manchester United transfer news and speculation. Now, do get involved. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Thank you everyone for all your support, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload, which should be tomorrow. I'll be doing an everyday sort of everyday recording of transfer, as we have 5 days left of the window. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload, and stay funny.